What's up, everyone? It's me, Adam Prime, and we are back for another TokuBrew podcast. This week in Toku, back with me as always is my lovely co-host and wife.
Hi, I'm Stormy. I'm also very cold right now.
It is finally hit the winter season as we record this. As Phase 2 starts, I'm excited to actually get some boxes of Phase 2 of Gotchard.
Yeah,
I'm about to say a little bit of news on
some
the way.
good stuff in there.
It just looks like a lot of cards you'd like, though, too.
Yeah.
All right, so this
Lot of
week
plants.
we have three things we got to talk about.
Wow.
We got the Gotchard versus Legend special, which really isn't that much. And the actual episode of Gotchard, and we have the always lovely KingOhger, which, as per usual, as we've always stated, will go last.
Because it is king.
Yeah. The only other thing, just because it's like right here near our screenshots, we also got a look at what could possibly be a possible memorial edition of the D Sword Vega, and
Oh my gosh.
I'm in. I've wanted that sword since I've been 8 years old. I hate that it's probably gonna be like over $200, and I'm gonna just be like, okay.
Yeah, your wallet's just gonna be like, please, no, not another Memorial Edition.
Bandai slit my wallet's like
Okay.
proverbial throat, and it's like bleeding out pennies on the ground.
Oh god.
It's dying a slow, painful death that no wallet should ensue.
It's so funny because it's just like you just keep texting. There was a period of time where you just kept texting me different, just like, oh god, another one came out. Just
Another
like,
thing.
God, no.
It was just like Bandai was like, another one.
Another one.
But
Well, to be fair, all of your nostalgic stuff is turning.
I don't want to
Old.
talk about that right now.
You're old.
Yeah.
I'm old. We're old.
Um.
Anyway, so Gotchard, who's young, so.
Yeah, Gotchard, the young one. We are going to start off with the Legend special, just because it's short. And do you really have anything to say about this?
Guys, I'm gonna be brutally honest in two very different ends of the spectrum. Of I really don't see a point of this existing. Of like I imagine. I think that they said that this character is coming back, and I kind of hope so that there is a point.
Hey, we haven't even finished his little parts yet. We only got like halfway
This
through
was,
him.
we have Common Rider cards, and we want to sell them. Please buy them.
Yeah, we
And,
have
like-
this decayed-looking motherfucker.
And on the other end of the spectrum, I kind of love this character.
I kind of don't like him.
He's awful,
He's
but in a way
gorgeous.
that makes me laugh.
He's like gorgeous.
Like, he took a bath in jewels with a glass of wine. Are you
and
kidding
definitely
me?
showed Gotchard his dick.
And
definite-
absolutely did. And
He just has his wine in his bathtub of rubies that
Lit-
he may or may not have shit out.
and literally, and the only thing that like actually genuinely started to upset me was how many times they said the word gorgeous.
Wow, another annoying Toku character that has a one-line catchphrase. I thought this was
I thought it
legitimately
was-
gonna be Tsukasa. I thought this was actually gonna be Decayed. But no, it's this guy who just
It's so over the
looks like
top,
him.
it got me, man. Like, what can I say? It's so over the top that I was just like, you know what, this is kind of funny. Like,
Well, the fact that Gotchard probably has no clue what the fuck he's talking about.
he's just like, wow, he's cool and
Yeah.
shiny.
And his butler looks like his friend. His literal name is Butler.
Yep.
He's Butler the Butler.
Sebastian cracks knuckles in the background.
Yeah, but say, meanwhile, yeah, this Butler has nothing on Sebastian.
Of course.
We'll get back to him.
Also, they did the whole.
Matter of fact, I don't think Legend nor his Butler have anything on Sebastian.
Oh, absolutely. But can I? Well, Himino could like run circles around him for sure. But
Yeah, there's like
I
an
gotta
evil-
say that the friend in this basically did the Disney Channel take off the glasses and suddenly and get the hair out of their face and suddenly they're gorgeous. Like,
Yeah, well, it's because we were making fun of how much of a dorkus this guy is, especially like
I
in
was
the
like,
last
how'd they
couple
do that?
episodes where they're focusing on him. We will. Okay, wait. You know what? We'll do it right now because I know we have a screenshot that's perfect where he looks like a fucking madman, like he just looks deranged. Like, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
compare him to how he looks like the Butler. I'm just
look at this. Look at the difference between
like, we're not
them.
saying like, oh, this guy looks gross or anything, or being like, oh, he's ugly. But it's more just like these are the same guy.
He
Good
is
on
the
his
main
acting,
character.
honestly.
Yeah,
Good on his acting. Good for him. Good for this kid.
you're very handsome. If you're listening.
Yeah, and you find out like, for whatever reason, he's fighting the robots from Geo. like I don't know if it's like an Oma thing, like it's their own.
I
like
think
their
wasn't there
heart-
like we also think they reused like one of like the like a
They
little
reused
CGI
it.
sequence of like the soldiers marching
not just the soldiers
something
marching,
like
but
that.
like the big robots that were destroying that I don't think I got any screenshots
Oh yeah,
of.
those were the same as well.
Well, yeah,
We looked those up legitimately.
Yeah, we legitimately like we have the art book of the behind the scenes stuff for Geo, and like I literally pulled it out, and I'm like, these are the exact same things. But yeah, also there was like a big Deca driver looking thing because apparently he just collects Common Riders because, like I said, like you said earlier, come on, go buy your Common Rider cards. You know you want them, and yeah. So pretty
Yeah.
much like this is what the special leads up to. We then obviously get Legend to transform, and he can summon other Common Riders. He summons the oddest ball characters.
And they like ran out of ideas halfway through
well, yeah,
introducing
it's like
them.
because we had Gaim, we have Hibiki, which I hate that they're not even in order. That bothers the fuck out of me.
I imagine.
Kiksa, and Kiva. So all main riders except for one. Why? Why not just Fies? Don't ask why this bothers me. It just bothers me.
What was the logic between this set of characters?
Yeah, exactly. Outside of maybe all of them have a pre. Well, I guess
Maybe
I
they
know Kiva,
match up.
Actually, I know why. Gaim's 10th anniversary, Hibiki and Kiva, I think, are getting like super best releases, which are like the crappy cheap belts for themselves re-releases, which
I can't afford a CSM.
Well, it's like the $20 re-releases.
Oh, not even those. I was
Like,
like,
those are
those are good. What are you talking
no,
about?
Okay, wait. I would pick up the Hibiki one just because that already doesn't do much, and it pretty much would do what I want it to do. It would just be a tuning fork that can flip up. The Keybat one is barely it doesn't actually have a removable Keybat, so I don't really care.
I sounded so pompous saying that I can't afford a CSM. Like,
well, yeah.
I didn't mean it that way, but I'm like, that sounded awful.
Yeah, don't sound too douchey.
Jeez.
I'm about to say, and then yeah, Kiksa
I thought you
for
meant
all
just
the
like a
CSM stuff
re-release.
they announced.
I thought you meant like maybe like a re-release of like the standard like toy.
Like they did for O's right before they did the
like
CSM one.
Before they do like an actual like CSM memorial.
Yeah, it's like,
edition.
hey, we want you
I
to...
thought that's what you meant, and but I couldn't think of how to. I could not think of the words for the life of me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh no, it's the really dinky ones, and I'm just like, oh. Now I sound really shitty.
Also, like, Gotchard just is whining this whole episode.
He's just like, this sucks. And
He's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. You threw me in a fucking cage, and he keeps just yelling at me that I'm not good enough. And then he gives him cards at the end that give him a Kuga Fies form, which... neat, I guess?
I mean, it looks nice. I won't complain.
Yeah.
I really do love when Legend themselves transforms into a rider. They get like this like
sash.
This like gold and jeweled sash.
Yeah, because he turns into Deno.
Shoulder plate thing.
At least it's a little bit more creative than
like
Decade. It's just like, hey, it's their belt is on them.
Mm-hmm.
Spot the difference.
Is that? There it is.
And I about to say, I think that's about where it ends. It might just end with them being like, we saved the villains, but we're not letting Gotchard go yet. But that's all I can say about this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we said a lot while also saying really nothing.
I think we talked more about just thoughts and opinions rather than what actually happened, because not a lot actually happened.
Well, yeah, it's like, I don't know. How do you feel about Legend? How do you feel about his suit?
I've already kind of talked about it, to be fair. I do like this suit, though. I do genuinely like his suit.
Well, it's like, I like Decade's suit.
Yeah, and it's just like a really shiny, jewel-encrusted version of it.
It's like Decade
Encrusted?
and Lupin
Encrusted?
from Drive. Yeah. Lupin from Drive, like, fuse together, honestly. So it's really weird. But now we get to the actual episode of Gotchard proper. And we are back with, like, I forget what they were doing.
Oh, remember, there was, like, the girl that he liked that they found through the magazine, and then she's like, oh my gosh, and then they thought that was her boyfriend, but it turns out that
he was still fighting the cherry tree guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, and then he goes to his big new bulky form, because obviously you gotta go big new bulky form, which was the crab plus a motorcycle.
Looks kind of cool. It's a big
It does
boy.
look cool. And then you find out that
It's
the guy she ran away to wasn't her lover, it was her brother.
And also, this is where we got our screenshots that we showed you earlier, where like I can't remember his name, but the friend like notices, oh, so the person that she was with was a criminal.
Yeah,
because
not
like
just
someone
a criminal,
else was
but
looking,
her brother.
Yeah, was looking at.
Yeah, he just
on
like
their phone.
runs up to this window like a fucking psychopath, and she's just like, "Oh my god, you didn't actually burn those things, did you?" He's like, "No, bitch, I legitimately burnt that shit down."
No, I totally did.
I totally did it. Like that was totally what happened. I'm a bad guy, piece of shit, and you know I'm just gonna crush your whole worldview right now.
Yeah, it was something like she was talking
Like,
about
she
the
was so
will-o-wisps that she had been talking about, and he's just like, "Nah, those weren't real. Those were just the fires that I created, or something."
And he went to Battery, which just was he trying to kill her? Like I'm
think
not
so.
quite sure what was happening.
I honestly kind of think so.
And like immediately they're like, "Oh my god, Gotchard, we got to do something." And then obviously because he started a fire, they were like, "You're gonna use Rose fucking fire truck," which this actually looks kind of cool.
I kind of like this form. This is probably one of my favorites.
It's kind of doofy, but I kind
But
of
like they
love
fully
it.
took advantage of the fact that it was both a fire truck and a rose. Like
And it's
the abilities were legitimately really interesting.
Yeah, and the helmet's new, I would say. The chest is reused.
It seems pretty. Like, the arms
are
pretty new.
definitely those one reused again. Like they like
from
reusing
what?
those. Mushroom. Remember the mushroom turbines?
I guess so.
Yeah. So, but meanwhile, the suit itself is really nice, and like
So,
immediately the sister
snaps.
then loses it as the Kemi was getting ready to come out, sucks the Kemi up, and then is just like
Cries ink.
Yeah, she got legitimately terrifying.
It was pretty spooky, guys.
And then she's just like, "I'm gonna zap my brother
to death."
Yeah, to death.
And then like because he goes back into his big boy form, I believe.
Yeah.
And then like is able to like kind of act as a bit of a lightning rod, even though it does kind of like give him damage a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of gets hurt.
And I don't remember how, but like they saved the day. Things are fine.
They got her to calm down.
They
saved the day. And
oh yeah, because he just like kind of like kicked her and it fell out of her and they caught her. It was fine. But as he was being arrested, he's like, "Hey, I did see the will-o-wisps too."
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they're immediately like, "Well, we're gonna have to wipe your friend's memory away, and all the love that him and that girl got really don't matter because it had all to do with alchemy. It's never meant to be."
But
or is it?
Yeah, because there was a thing with like the kind of a similar conversation sparked up over again. Because I think they were probably playing around with the red string of fate thing, because like you could hear like the little. What is it, like a little bell ding, like as they walk by each other.
Yeah.
And then they actually start up the same conversation that they had before, and it's like, it's actually kind of sweet.
Even Gotchard was like, maybe it was meant to be.
You know what? It was really cute.
It was.
I enjoyed it.
And we finally got Jungle Jan and I don't know, Battery Guy. We also the Hades sister got UFO X.
Oh yeah, right.
She got that. And that was the episode. I really. Do you have anything else to really say? Like, it was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Like, Gotchard is one of those shows where I'm not unamused when I'm watching about it. It's just after having to trying to talk about it is like, do I care? So his weird friend gets a girlfriend. Cool for him. The form was kind of neat. The dude just fully admitting he was a fire starter was kind of hilarious. Yeah, just a straight up arsonist, just being like, "I did it." Like, not even like not the I had to do it, sister, because I need to get the money from Al Carhone or something like that. No, it's just I did it.
He did do a little bit of a shitty thing of just being like, yeah, I lit fires because I felt solace in looking at the flames because I had to be a perfect brother for everybody else because they lost their parents or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It's like it's kind of fucked up, but it's like I almost kind of laugh when I think about it. It's like it's such a shitty thing, but the idea of, brother, I believe in you. I did it. That was all me.
I always believed in your innocence. Oh, I'm not innocent. I
definitely started that.
I for sure started those fires. I did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Directly.
All right. Do we want to go to I Called It the episode?
So, guys, I'm not gonna lie.
Do you?
I pretty much called every single little bit of this episode.
There was only a few things.
But I was like, okay, how are they going to surprised me in certain ways because I know KingOhger. I know they're gonna do something good. And guys,
still love
guys, I'm so happy.
I still like it. Like, even though we were like, XYZ is gonna happen.
And it did.
Do we really even want to hide the fact? We're not gonna play beat by beat. You know what this episode's about. Let's just get into our favorite parts. Like, or we could be here for hours.
All right.
This is just
Himino
is
getting married.
Yeah, she just opens up the episode being like, I'm looking
for a
suitor. And we've been saying this whole time, even I think last recording, or whenever it was revealed that like they had control, that Himino is Kame Jim.
Absolutely.
You
keep saying this "we" thing, but I'm fairly sure that I was the one that kept saying it.
We agreed both together that he was Kame Jim. We're not going to say who was right or who was wrong. Either way, we're just like, that's Kame Jim.
Either right or who was right or who was wrong. Bitch, I was right. That's the only part that matters.
I guess. Either way, but yeah, no, ultimately, there's no even hiding it. They don't even hide it for long. It's just like Kame Jim's immediately just like well, this is going to be fun.
Anyway, so... basically, yeah, of course, like, Gaia still doesn't know what's going on, but,
yeah, Gaia was just like,
and to be fair, I also think that Jeremy and Yama also kind of didn't know what was happening.
They didn't know what was happening either.
And I think Rita was starting to sniff out what was going on, but not quick enough, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, Rita literally has a moment where they are technically talking to Kame Jim, just saying, blink twice if you're being held hostage.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh man, I wish you wouldn't say that early, but like, yeah, there was a moment with that, and it was really funny.
We will go into the segments.
But anyway, but
yeah, immediately everyone's going for it.
So Jeremy is having fun. The episode.
Jeremy's just
this whole time he's just in the background sipping tea, looking at this gossip unraveling like he's watching an episode of Pretty Little Liars. He's having so much fun.
Well, yeah, and like
he absolutely noticed that Yama is all flustered.
Yeah, he's just like he just is almost like he's like, Yama,
he's playing Cupid.
I got you.
He's playing Cupid for
like,
sure, and it is
fails
so funny
every time.
It's so funny.
Yeah, he just fails every time. Like, Yama not only fails, but then Jeremy then almost fucks it up.
And of course, there's this beautiful. Of course, Bowler Hat guy is in this.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah,
I thought he was gonna come back. Come back, but no, he's like, I left my girlfriend for you.
Yeah, exactly. We get set up 5 suitors, and you're probably saying, well, is Kaburagi in this? No, we actually don't see him really until the end. And
I can't wait to talk about that.
And we have, obviously, like we said, Yama, Gaira, and Rita is in there.
Jeremy,
which Jeremy immediately bows out. He's like,
yeah, immediately after he's like, that the age difference seems weird. I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
And you know what? I can respect that. Thank you, KingOhger, for meeting the bare minimum. Thank you for not.
And here comes a new challenger. We get Romain Deborn, and he apparently
he's a duke of.
Yeah,
I know we have. What is it called? I am the heir to the millennia-old Deborn dukedom of Ishimana. So yeah, they're the heir of a duke, like, essentially.
Yeah, and or are a duke technically.
So they do qualify because Himino Singh was like, "Oh, you're all kings, so you qualify."
Yeah, and you pretty much find out that he was just so handsome, it caused everyone to be distracted, apparently.
Yeah.
And he was getting ready to...
And it only does, like, terrible things to people, and he can't do good in the world, or something like that.
Yeah, and so...
So he tried to, like, maim his face.
Yeah, and she's just like...
Stop.
Yeah, like, immediately, Himino is just like, stop that. Just stop.
Mm-hmm.
Be a problem, and then put a pin in that. We're not going to get into that right away.
We'll get back into that.
We called this, though. Anyone who's thinking about what it is, we
know. Yeah.
We know. We all know. So do we want to do we go into the 3 competitions, or do you want to go with what's actually happening with Himino?
Let's address Himino for a second, and then so we can keep a little bit of a stride with the other one.
So Himino, we find out, has been captured for probably the whole time she was back. Mm-hmm. And because she finds out that Kame Jim poisoned the water hole, like, quite literally.
No, not even. No,
I meant not literally. I was making the joke. He poisoned their medicine. He gave to their juices and gave them a special space poison.
Okay, first of all, you explained that terribly. Yes, you're right about it is a special space juice, like of like it is a poison. But like what they did was he disguised himself as a doctor and distributed poison instead of medicine, which made people not trust the doctors, which is what made everything unravel. And now, what else was there?
He poisoned all the doctors.
Yeah, and then he poisoned the doctors, so it's like that's why Ichiban is a
and
ruin.
then traps Himino pretty much because she's like,
and makes her sick.
Well, that's after he's like, hey, you kill me,
there's no cure.
Yeah, you can't. Nothing you can do, bitch. And
so she hands over the sword.
Yeah, and then he's immediately like, ha, and then poisons her. Which, by the way, you immediately find out because as soon as they all leave, the Galactic Insect King is just hops
Eating
in
it
and
up.
just gonna be like, oh, you dirty little liar.
You little bitch.
I see what you're doing here. I can't wait to watch how this turns out. And we immediately go into the next thing.
So, Kamejim is Himino in these situations.
Yes. So, and honestly, I'm realizing a lot of the poison stuff with Himino is kind of in the background.
A little bit.
So first thing is dancing.
Can you dance? Gaira tries and then falls on his face.
Yeah.
Yama had confidence and then lost it, and then Jeremy moved them around like a puppet on the strings. Yeah, that was frightening.
Yeah.
And then
Rita shows up into like almost like ready to ballroom dance, and that's where she says you nod twice if you're being held captive.
Yeah, and just like, oh, Rita, I'm impressed. I was just like, I don't even care if that's Kamejim. I'm getting fan service and I'm loving it because I was having so much fun.
Was there only 2 competitions? I thought there were 3.
Well, it fell apart.
Oh,
remember?
Did it fall apart before the third one could happen?
Because like every time Kamejim thinks that they're getting close enough to be able to poison one of the kings, because the plan that I believe that he said was to the Galactic King was like, oh, as Himino, I'm going to marry one of the kings and then kill them and then start
another
shit.
I don't know.
Something
like that.
Something along those lines.
And then you immediately then start getting into the next competition of whispering sweet nothings. And Gaira...
make me swoon.
And Gaira was quite literally... just...
Get a grip! You went into the tyrant of get a grip or I'll take your throne myself.
Yeah, he was lovely. And then we get Yama, who couldn't say anything, and then... I think
got
Jeremy
too
was trying
embarrassed.
a haiku.
I don't remember exactly. Some sort of poetry, whatever. But he has like a spider web like cup on a string where he's trying to like speak for him.
And then she immediately tries to poison Rita, who's saying something about move on. But then that's ultimately where she's found out because.
By the way.
What?
Before we go,
can
I point out, because it's the same prop and everything, how messed up is it that Kamejim is making Himino do to her friends what he did to her parents?
Well, not
I know it wasn't him. Like, you keep trying to correct me. That's not the point in what I'm trying to say. Just imagine how traumatizing that would be if like something were to have happened for her.
Yeah.
That's more what I was going along the lines before you just go and correct me like it's your job. Jesus.
You don't have to yell.
Well, you don't have to correct me.
Well...
when there's nothing to correct. Anyway, so Himino walks in.
Because she breaks out because she pretty much, I guess, made a cure because...
That's what I was thinking, like, while we were watching the episode of, like, just because it's from space, do you think that she can't cure it? Like...
And Romain Deborn reveals himself to be none other than...
our buddy Sebastian.
Like,
it's our boy.
Like, we even get to see his origin story later. Like, he used that as they said they would marry each other, but that was not, like, most of it was true except for that.
Mm-hmm. And it was because like they kept saying like, oh, Sebastian is in makeup and everything. I even noticed like their hair was the same, just not slicked back, which you noticed later.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I don't even know if Jeremy ever caught on to this because he was just yelling
him and
Yama the whole time.
Yama was more like beating him up, but then Jeremy was like, I already caught you. It's fine.
And And yeah, and just like it's actually like really wholesome.
She kicks Kame Jim's ass with her scythe, and we go home, and Jeffrey the giraffe, like actual Jeffrey the giraffe.
I'm pretty sure it's a reused mascot costume of the Toys R Us mascot.
I don't even think so, because they have Toys R Us down there still.
Oh yeah, in Japan. Is true.
So it's like, I bet you this is just a tie-in. Like, Jeffrey the giraffe handing out Jeffrey's.
Buy our toys.
But gave Rita a MUFON.
And it was in this moment that I also realized, because we just had Yama's like kind of reintroduction of like, hey, remember I'm cool? Well, we just had a reintroduction with Himino, so I'm just like, oh, Adam, do you think they're gonna do Kaguragi like how they did in the when we got those first episodes of them being introduced? It's like, oh, this is who I am, and then this one time around, it's like, okay, this is who I really am. I was like, do you think they're gonna do Kaguragi? And it's like they heard me, because guess what we got to see? Kaguragi's getting set up to be the next episode, and
it seems like we're gonna get his past.
We're gonna get like that whole rebellion and like that that greedy queen or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see the king.
So ready.
Because we heard it was from a glutton of a king, but then we're seeing the queen. So
I don't know. I'm excited. I want to see it. It's gonna be great. But we actually do get a really sweet moment between Himino and them. Just like, do you ever wish that you were?
Don't you ever want to go back?
Do you ever want to go back?
Or it's like, do you wish to go back? And
he's just like, this is who I am now, and I'm happy this way, because me being Sebastian the Butler, I've been able to do what I've been always wanted to do.
Help people.
I want to serve and help people, and
yeah.
And they have just such a sweet
wonder if
moment.
That's the reason why he stayed when he got fat and became Fatchin. Like he was just. And like he was like, he's like, you know what? I don't want people to have it be my face connected to it. I'll just keep pretending to be your butler. Do you think he has a different social security card that says Sebastian?
Or maybe he
just no last name.
Maybe just wanted some snacks.
But yeah, what did you think of this episode? Like we said, like a whole lot. You can tell a lot was like very emotional and everything, with like Himino dying in a dungeon with her nurses and other doctors, and like it was upsetting. There's just not a whole lot to talk about. It's like we see them and we can tell they were planning a breakout, and like even it was like the maids that helped them break out and everything, but it's like there's really not a whole lot to say outside of it was like it was kind of depressing outside of like literally I felt like one of her nurses is like, I see the light, and she's like, don't walk towards it.
I need you.
Yeah, it's like, you can't die on me yet.
I have you scheduled for Friday.
Yeah. And then also, I forgot, Sebastian also, like, fakes in, like, into the ballroom dancing. He straight up stole Rita. From Rita. I forgot about that scene, because that's the scene where she screams.
Oh, I even forgot. I think Sebastian probably just noticed what was going on. I had also forgotten that. Oh, you knocked it straight out of my head. Scroll down so I can remember.
Okay. What are we doing? Was it while they were whispering sweet nothing?
No, I'm trying to remember.
They have to do with Kaguragi? Because that was early.
No, I mean, I do like that. It's like we get this nice map at the end. And
yeah, we get a nice setup with her and Sebastian at the end, though, too. Which, I think it's super funny that they used Kame Jim's lack of knowledge to know who's Jim. Because
that's what I was thinking of. That Himino had called Sebastian her retrainer and not just her butler. That was what I was trying to remember, that you freaking yelled over him and bulldozed out of my head. Thanks.
Yeah. Which, I ultimately do like that we, as the audience, already knew that Sebastian was young under the makeup. So that's why immediately, as we started this episode...
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's Sebastian.
That's Sebastian.
Yeah. Like, I was absolutely sure the whole time, and you, like, faltered a little bit. You're like, I don't know, maybe it could not be. I was just the whole time. It was like I was like with Reculus. I was just like, that's Sebastian. Like I was just like, Reculus isn't dead. Like, and you were like, I don't know.
That one I can't deny.
Yeah, this one you also can't, but you're gonna try. So
we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
Either way, I think it's funny that we technically got a Sebastian themed episode. Like, that's pretty great. But it's like, I like a lot of what they did. Like I said, it was information we had that Kame Jim didn't have. So they used it to their advantage, and I like that he was just mad that he got out-tricked. He's like, what the fuck? And then he runs away like a little bitch.
Like a little bitch.
I don't know.
Go to Toys R Us.
Yeah, go to Toys R Us. And we get a map, and now Himino has actually retaken Ishiban. Which, honestly, yeah, get your hospitals back up first. That's
yeah, it makes sense why Kaguragi would be next, because...
Get back the food.
Get the food back, you know. I imagine it would probably go towards, like, technology, and then maybe...
Well, technically, I don't think anyone cares about the technology one right now. It's kind of dead.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess
So, like,
I guess they tried to do that one first.
That one technically, yeah.
And
Well,
they
yeah,
failed.
communicate.
I imagine maybe they'll try again at some point, but I don't know what they'll do.
Well, I
with
think
Rita
they'll probably.
or Reculus
I think it's
next.
more rebuilding. Yeah. Honestly, you get the prison back last. There's no reason to go get the prison back. Like,
Unless there is a reason that they just haven't told us yet.
well, I guess Jeremy might want it back because that's also where he lives. He's like,
Oh yeah, all the citizens are underneath there right now.
yeah.
I mean, maybe.
But it doesn't seem like they really know how to get there at the moment. So who
Yeah,
knows?
we'll see.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm so stoked for Kaguragi's episode, though.
But yeah. Any final thoughts? What was your favorite moment?
I mean, them dancing. I know it was Kame Jam and it wasn't actually them, but like,
Let you live.
Rita charmed me. And like Sebastian throughout all of this was just exactly what I would have wanted.
Well, yeah. Even though again we called it. Like we were,
What can I say? I love me a gentleman.
like yeah, exactly. It's like it's like the whole time when we were watching, we were thinking like this is Sebastian. And then it being Sebastian, we're still just like
Yes,
because it's like it's exactly what's like we didn't want to be like oh it's her hidden
again,
brother or something like that.
Again, it was like, okay, this is probably what you're gonna do. Now surprise me.
Well, so,
and it's like, yeah, like, and it was Sebastian, but they surprised me with like some
yeah.
of the story behind it and the reasoning and the connection that these two have. Like, they legitimately have like a really deep connection with each other.
Yeah, and you also see when he goes back to being full Sebastian, he adjusts his throat that readjusts his voice modulator to be how he should. So I think it is funny. Like again, that's something we knew so early on. Like we knew that probably episode 3, and it's coming around all the way back on like episode 30 something. Like I think that's impressive.
Such good stuff, man. And to be fair, the whole thing with Sebastian wearing makeup has been a consistent piece of information as
Again,
well that they've like continuously reminded us of.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like they said it once in the very beginning and then never.
Well, yeah,
again.
it's like we have them constantly reminding us. They had them using it on Gaira. It's like it left. It should be something that's in the forefront of your mind when you hear it. So. Either way, we know what won this week. Like, I'm sorry, Gotchard, as funny as you were about the brother destroying the little sister's dreams, this was just
this wins.
Pound for
KingOhger
pound
wins.
is way more entertaining.
God, I love KingOhger so much. I love it so
It was
much.
a fun episode, man.
This is a good show. It's a great show.
Well, yeah,
I'm having a good time.
Well, yeah, it's because it's like it's so original.
It's so good.
It's fun.
So
what
well
do you guys
written.
think?
So well
what was
written.
What was your guys' favorite? Do you guys think Bowler Hat Guy should have come back for a few more gags? I'm really glad.
Did you scream as much as I did when quote unquote Himino and Rita danced?
Also, Jesus Christ. How quickly do you think they had to shut the gates to the castle when she said that?
Oh, not fast enough, whatever it was.
Well, yeah, it's like, come on. Also, can we banish Bowler Hat Guy? Like, he should
Not
be
in my
banned.
Great Valley.
It's like, he's just, every time there's a problem or a conflict, he somehow finds his way to butt in.
I don't know, we talked about this on the podcast yet.
No, we haven't.
We started calling him Daddy Tops.
Oh, like the canonical name of Sarah's father
In the Land Before Time.
Who's also just a weird pretentious fuck who often is at the center of conflict.
He's also racist, but this guy doesn't seem racist.
Yeah, he's not.
Mostly? Against maybe Bugnark. I guess he might be racist.
He's not racist. He might be racist. Moving on.
We'll have to see where he is by the end.
Either way,
Let's see
it's
if
like, I
he's
get it,
learned.
he's a gag character, but like,
Yeah.
can somebody banish him at this point? Like, something?
Throw this guy out of my Great Valley.
Throw him out of my Shugadam. Well, to be fair, last week he was a glutton king with like a fucking chainmail ready to kill people.
That's fair.
So, this show's weird. This show is weird, but I love it.
It's so good. Well,
Well, no, what are you guys looking forward to? Do you guys have any thoughts? Are you guys expecting? Supposedly there are rumors right now that we're gonna get another KingOhger power up. I have no idea what it is. I have not seen any pictures myself. But hey,
Is it something that the rest of the team can have?
I don't think so.
Oh, come on!
I don't think so.
Come on!
But yeah, I don't know. I think that's about. I don't know. You have any
Right.
final thoughts?
Can't wait for the next episode.
All right.
Thanks so much for listening, guys.
Till whatever we do next. Till next week.
Bye-bye!
Bye.